G'day folks, welcome back to the channel. Those of you who've been with us for a while will remember back in August of 2024 there was a Mercedes EQE fire in the basement of an apartment block in Seoul, South Korea, which destroyed hundreds of cars and put dozens of families out of their apartments for many weeks. And it was a pretty serious catastrophe at the time because of the intensity of the fire. The car wasn't even on charge, it was just sitting there doing nothing. And now another Mercedes EQ, this time an EQA, has caught fire in very similar circumstances in an underground car park of an apartment block. And the trouble is, obviously, with the intensity of EV fires, they spread incredibly easily. They take a hell of a lot of effort to extinguish because, for all the reasons we've discussed before, they burn without oxygen. They can't be extinguished using normal methods. They burn at incredibly high temperatures. And so when one does catch fire, especially in an enclosed space like that, the results can be catastrophic. And there's no evidence of this being reported anywhere in the regular Australian or European mainstream media. It's only local media outlets that are reporting it. And we'll come on to that story in a minute, but I just want to touch on another story that's been sent to me, again in South Korea, again related to batteries, but this time in a government department. I think this relates to an uninterrupted power supply or an uninterruptible power supply for a server or something like that, which caught fire. So the headline reads, Korea faces calls for battery safety oversight after network fire. Calls for a centralised authority to oversee battery safety are growing in South Korea after a fire at the National Information Resources Service disrupted government computer systems. As of Tuesday, no ministry had clear responsibility for overall battery safety. The government does not yet have a control tower dedicated to battery-related accidents, said a Ministry of the Interior and Safety official. Oversight is split among several ministries. Battery production moves from cells to modules to packs. The Ministry of Trade, Industry and Energy is responsible for cells, while the Ministry of Land, Infrastructure and Transport oversees modules and packs used in electric vehicles. So yes, the individual cells are like the oversized AA batteries that sit within these huge packs, which are the battery themselves, a battery of cells. The Ministry of Environment manages waste battery recycling. The division of responsibilities has made it difficult to coordinate preventative measures. If a fire is traced to a cell, the Industry Ministry takes charge, but if it stems from a module or pack, the Transport Ministry is responsible. Until the cause is determined, ministries are often reluctant to intervene. What a mess, what a disaster. In the case of the recent fire, the Interior Ministry is handling recovery from the network outage, but it is unclear which ministry will lead long-term prevention efforts. The issue is further complicated by the fact that the uninterruptible power supply involved is not considered a core battery product, leaving no agency with clear jurisdiction. An official from the Korea Battery Industry Association said there are no regulations that specify responsibility for battery safety. And this article actually references the August 2024 fire. In August 2024, a fire in the underground parking lot of an apartment complex in Cheongna, Incheon, destroyed more than 140 vehicles after a Mercedes-Benz EV caught fire. The government responded by focusing on risks associated with Chinese-made batteries and moved to require automakers to disclose their country of origin of their battery packs. However, critics point out that the creation of a central oversight body was neglected, leaving the system vulnerable. The failure to determine the exact cause of the Cheongna fire also left no ministry accountable, and the issue faded without further action. And now we have almost carbon copy replay of that event in August 2024. As the headline reads, Mercedes EV catches fire in South Korean apartment car park, residents evacuated. Dozens of residents were forced to leave their homes this morning after a fire broke out in a Mercedes-Benz electric vehicle EV parked in the underground garage of an apartment complex in Suwon, Gyeonggi Province, about 30 kilometers south of Seoul. The blaze reportedly began about 8:04 a.m. on the first basement level of the 15-story building in Gwonseon district, which houses roughly 1,800 households, according to reports by Korea Jung-ang Daily. The fire, which started in the parked vehicle, quickly spread to 2 other nearby cars. Gyeonggi firefighters responded swiftly, dispatching 19 fire trucks and 57 personnel to the scene for a single car fire. 19 fire trucks, 57 firefighters, compared to a regular car that would be like one bloke with a watering can or a hose pipe. Firefighters later moved the charred vehicle outdoors and continued cooling operations to prevent any risk of reignition. Authorities said the Mercedes was reportedly charging at the time of the fire, but the precise cause, whether linked to the battery or electrical wiring, remains under investigation. The Suwon incident is not the first involving Mercedes-Benz EVs in South Korea. In August 2024, as we've heard, an unplugged Mercedes EQE sedan caught fire in an underground parking garage in Incheon, destroying over 140 vehicles and forcing more than 200 families to evacuate. Well, as we've said before, the more EVs you get, the more of these fires are going to occur. And whilst, as they say, EV fires are relatively rare, when they do happen, they can be catastrophic because of the intensity and the temperature and the fact that they can't be extinguished by normal means. So it'll be interesting to see if this particular story gets any traction in the European or US or Australian media. I think it's highly unlikely. It's the kind of thing that they don't want to publicise too widely, obviously, because it goes against the narrative, but I think it's going to happen more and more as EVs become more common. And in apartment blocks in particular, car parks, enclosed spaces, unless there's a very sophisticated fire extinguisher system installed, they can get out of hand very, very quickly. And as I've said before, I think insurance companies will be intervening pretty soon to stop this kind of thing happening. All right, that's it for this one. Thanks very much for watching. Really hope you enjoyed it. Look forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye for now. If you'd like to support this channel and display your anti-EV credentials to your Tesla-owning neighbours at the same time, why not buy some awesome MGUY merchandise, like this mug, this baseball cap, or this t-shirt. Each high-quality item sports the MGUY No EV sign, and they're all made to order, perfect for irritating the hell out of your local EV zealots. Visit store.mguy.tv or click the link in the description to check out the full range of products. And of course, you can always just buy me a coffee. Click the link in the description or scan the QR code on screen. Thanks very much for watching. Really hope you enjoyed it. If you've got any tips or stories, go there. If you'd like to watch another video, go there. If you'd like to buy me a coffee, go there. And please subscribe to the channel.